We begin tonight in Niger State, where 100 abducted school children have returned to their families. Pupils of St. Mary's Catholic Private Primary and Secondary School, Papiri, whose release was secured by the federal government on Monday, arrived at the Niger State Government House in Minna. They were seized from their school on November the 21st when bandits attacked their school, abducting 315 people. 303 students and 12 teachers. The federal government reportedly secured the release of the children on Sunday, though the presidency had yet to state the development. Earlier, the Christian Association of Nigeria (CAN) stated that it had not received any official notification regarding the students' reported release. Meanwhile, a member of the United States House of Representatives, Riley Moore, has commended President Tinubu for the rescue of 100 school children in Niger State. According to him, the rescue is a positive demonstration of President Tinubu's response to the country's security challenges. Moore, who is visiting Nigeria after months of tense debate between U.S. and Nigerian officials over alleged persecution of Christians, however, noted that so much work still needs to be done, as he raised fresh worries over rising terrorism and ongoing killings during a meeting with Nigeria's National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu. He noted that the delegation and Nigerian officials examined concrete steps and actions that he believes could improve security if carried out fully. Policy analyst Yemi Saka joins me live in the studio for this conversation. With him at the other end is a security expert, Dr. Dickson Osagie. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
You're welcome. It's nice to be here.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so I'll start with you. 100 students rescued. What is your thought as to the accolades that's coming along?
Well, I'm not surprised, and this is not me trying to blow somebody's trumpet or my trumpet. With what I saw, what I witnessed in Benin Kebbi, because I was on guard in Benin Kebbi, I was fortunate to be with the Minister of State of Defense, Dr. Mohammed Matawali. With the coordination with his input and how the security agencies, collaborated and brought the Benin Kebbi girls back to the Kebbi girls back to safety, I had, utmost conviction we're gonna get those pupils from Niger State back to safety as well. It was just a function of time.
Dickson, with a U.S. fact-finding team also in Abuja, how might Nigeria balance these parallel security engagements?
Americans that we are ready to deal with the state of security in Nigeria decisively, and I've seen the actions from the presidency these few days. I'm really impressed. So far, so good, because it's not about talking. We need to carry out more actions against this terrorist guys bedeviling our great country, Nigeria. So for me, I think the American government are also looking at it very critically. And also the delegates have come to Nigeria for a fact-finding, and also they've seen the efforts being put by the presidency. And I tell you, sometimes 2-3 years ago, we will have most of these our guests being kidnapped. There is not much effort being put, but the speed and momentum, the response measures from this administration, I tell you, it's a very good one, and also it's going to send a warning to the criminal element that there will be no hiding place, even though they succeed in their criminal enterprise. Our people, our government and government security forces will go after them and also bring them to justice.
I'm curious as to your thoughts on the proposed collaboration between France and Nigeria to fight security. The French president was very clear when he said it was at the request of Tinubu. He is looking for solutions. Well,
it's necessary, it's important, because out of like 5-6 countries that borders Nigeria, we have 6 or 5, we have 4 or 5 of them being Francophone countries: Togo, Benin Republic, Cameroon, before now Niger and Chad. So whether you like it or not, you need France collaboration in this war on terror. To some of us, you probably want to say that has not gone down well with our other Western allies, but we have a problem to solve. We're probably going to go everywhere we can get solutions from to resolve these issues. Nigeria as a country has been attending more than ever a lot of defense expos seeking collaboration. DICON is being active as we speak, or can I say there's a resurgence in activities of DICON. Nigeria is going to host the Defense Expo next year. And it's not just about showing off armament, seeking collaborations and what have you. A strong defense industry is a sign of you having, you can beat your chest and say your sovereignty will be intact and, roundly protected.
Dickson, on November 26th, President Tinubu declared a nationwide security emergency. And since then, we've seen a series of action from getting also a new minister to requesting France collaboration, and so a couple of other activities that we've seen so far. Would you say that the actions that has been taken, that we know that is in the public domain, is an indication of how much important the presidency is now taking the security challenge in this country, and how soon do we expect to see some results?
The question, Felicity. You see, that's why I'm even happy about the tweet of Donald Trump, even though many people might criticize such tweets, but for me as a security consultant and as a true Nigerian, I'm very delighted to see that tweet because it seems like a wake-up call. Felicity, you know very well that a lot of us have made a lot of presentations, over 700 presentations on local and international platforms talking about the state of insecurity for a very long time. But it seems that it was the tweet of Donald Trump that, woke everybody up. But for us, I think this very administration, like President Tinubu in the past few months, Felicity, I tell you, this man has been very, very proactive and also dishing out orders as the commander-in-chief. Because as the commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, all you just need to do is to give a matching order to your service chief, give a matching order to your national security advisor and say, hey, I don't want this mess going all around the Nigerian territorial space because we can't have the Nigerian Army, Navy, Air Force, and other NVAs being messed up by some group of criminal elements that are not up to 1% of the Nigerian populace. So for me, I think these actions from the presidency is a welcome development, and they must sustain it. Because Felicity, when it comes to response mechanism, there are three factors that are responsible there. They will have the proactive measures, the reactive measures, and the preventive measures. I will advise that the government should start looking at preventive measures and proactive measures instead of reactive measures, because each time you carry out reactive measures is after the commission of crime, which simply implies that security has been defeated. So let this very administration go ahead with their preventive measures and proactive measures so that you'll be able to decimate this criminal by day, by night, and do not allow them to regroup and also come back to attack the Nigerian space. We must also go to their governable space where they take shelters and, decimate that environment and ensure that we don't give them time to attack our security forces. It's doable, Felicity, and we have the capability and capacity, and I tell you that for free, that this war will achieve it if only we have the political will. And I've seen the president carrying out from effective political will against this criminal element.
All right, Yemi, I'll come back to the question of collaboration. We've seen the US, stick things out through us and we jump. There are talks of collaboration at that end. France is saying there's need for collaboration to fight insurgency. And he's saying the world cannot sit back as spectators and complain that things are going wrong. But how much of these international partnerships do you think will have real influence in the fight that is ongoing?
Yeah, but before I jump at that, I probably want to correct a notion. The government of the day has been proactive since 2023. And the first thing this administration did, which was not properly communicated by its information managers, it's not the problem of, it's not the issue or problem of Nigerians or misgivings or uninterest among Nigerians. It's just because it wasn't properly communicated to them. The floating of the Naira.
Well, I can't disagree with you on that, because if you were saying that it's not properly communicated, but now we're getting information on the go as things are happening. What's the difference?
Probably, let me hit the nail on the head. Probably, you see, the floating of the Naira was a strategic move to cut funding to terrorism, because with that was the removal of subsidy on forex. They call it starvation of funds in counter-terrorism. And with that, that's right, but that also brought about the upsurge in kidnappings and what you have across the country, because these terrorist organizations have to now go source for funds themselves to fund their activities, to fund their relevance, to fund their operations. That is one. Secondly, when this government got into office, it realized that there was something that we've been saying from the days of Namadi Sambo as the NSA. This is not me indicting him, but there was a lot of reports flying here and there. The president understood that there's a huge market for conflict entrepreneurs on all sides. So I think what the government did was to put a cap or a peg or probably step on the brakes on armed procurements and what have you, like it did.
Okay, so you're saying actions are being taken prior to this development.
But that's, with that was meant to, boost the defense, the capability of DICON, and we're now to look inward. So that was strategic, and that was about the, attendance of defense regulation by the Minister of State of Defense, often sometimes by the then Minister of Defense, Bada.
Yeah, but I mean, you will agree, as most Nigerians would, that the actions that are being taken now are clear for everyone to see, and very, it seems to sync with the timing of Trump's, prodding it off.
I think a lot of Nigerians are proud. There's no time, if you're being patriotic and you are not hating your country after an election cycle, that you don't see the Defense Ministry or the DHQ or the Army headquarters or what have you, even the Nigerian Navy headquarters, pushing out reportage of what they're doing, massive clear-outs and what have you.
Okay,
it's
because I really wish we...
A quick one. It's like you're treating malaria. You probably deal with the parasites. Then you start to now recuperate to regain your strength. So it was brick by brick efforts that Nigerians were probably nonchalant about, but definitely not ignorant about, because there's no day, there's no week you don't see reportage of military incursions or efforts in clearing out these, terrorist hideouts.
You still have not answered my question. Hopefully we'll have time to come back to you to just take that on.
Yeah, sure, why not?
But I will put similar question to Dickson. Your thoughts on how these public interest is pushing our responses to insecurity, and how much further can it go?
Well, thank you very much, Felicity. I think every day I represent an organization in the area of counter-terrorism training, and we have a platform where we receive on the spot assessment and also incidents happening across the Nigerian populace. Well, I'm not here to, attack any persons or whatever the case may be, but I'm here to state facts, because we are Nigerians. We read about what happens and all the criminal activities and security threat between Nigeria, inclusive of the existential threat. Oh yes, I've said it before during the commencement of this interview, that this president has done a lot, but that's it's not sufficient. We need to start looking at bringing Nigeria or restoring Nigeria to a state of positive peace. Because if you look at the attack methodology of this criminal element from the east, west, and north, they seems to be gaining momentum, succeeding in their area of attack against our military formation and successfully dismantling some of our military formations. I agree that the Nigerian military has also succeeded in some area of bombardment and also some area of attack. But let's be very clear that the Nigerian military and Nigerian military in whole has the capability to decimate these guys. But I've advised them to stop this friendly match. For me, I think it's just a friendly match. Because I can tell you that we cannot have some group of elements that are not well trained as our officers and men, they're putting Nigeria in a state of peace and also in a state of unrest and also putting us in a negative limelight. What we should start looking at is also try to carry out the crime mapping analysis of the things to political zone, as assess what is going on wrong within this area, and also ensure how we deploy from effective security strategy to decimate them, and also ensure that we bring Nigeria to a state of positive peace, so that we don't have from international community tweeting or having to go to Twitter or X. All
right, Dickson. I wish there's more time. I always wish there's more time, but we don't have that. In 30 seconds, if you can, your thoughts on how far these collaborations will help us. The
collaboration will go a long way, but I beg to disagree. There's no way you can have a clear mapping of the activities of these guys. Post-2023, pre-2023, you can. But post-2023, you cannot, because what they're doing is they want to stretch our military, and they're going to be attacking haphazardly, not in sync, not in any sequence that you can map. You can just try and have a guesstimate of the ideology, you can also have a guesstimate of the motive or what have you, but you cannot pinpoint this is how the pattern is going, because it's not clear cut out, or clearly cut out.
Yemi, thank you for being here.
That was a pleasure.
Dickson, thank you for being here as well.